Well, welcome to this month's R Club Safety Training Series. We're going to cover hand and portable power tool safety program for you and your company. As always, I'm John Kenny from Cotney Consulting Group, and I'm happy to be your host for this presentation. Safety Talk is going to cover handheld tools and portable equipment, knives, axes, shovels, hammers, chisels, and paper cutters. Portable power tools supplied by energy. Example, electric, pneumatic, hydraulic, powder actuated, explosive actuated, and compressed air. And then we're going to talk about jacks. What's a hand tool? A hand tool is a non-powered or operates only through physical exertion by hand, human operated. Point of operation, the area of the tool where the work is performed, which may expose the employee to injury if defective or not properly guarded. Portable power tool, portable tool that requires a power source to operate. Got to assess the hazards. Always, everything we do, we're assessing hazards, risk assessment. The site supervisor should ensure that hazard assessment is conducted at each job site where hand and portable power tools may be used. The assessment will identify hazards that could expose employees to flying objects, electric shock, sparks, puncture or lacerations, or other crushing forces. Once hazards are identified, the site supervisor should recommend appropriate control measures and provide guidance on the appropriate PPE selections when a hazard control is not feasible or satisfactory. General safety requirements. PPE or personal protective equipment. Employees using hand and power tools may be exposed to falling, flying, abrasive, and splashing objects, flying dust, fumes, or mist, vapors, or gases. Hearing protection. Hearing protection is always recommended. Tool maintenance. You must maintain your tools, whether company owned or individually owned, regularly and kept in a safe working condition. So a lot of times we have our employees supply their own, especially hand tools, very common. But whichever the tool is, whether it's company supplied or it's employee supplied, they must be maintained and then operate in a safe manner. Housekeeping. Flat ground surfaces will be kept as clean and dry as possible to prevent slips and falls. Extension cords will be used as needed for temporary power only and must be stored properly when not in use. Waste will be disposed of in the appropriate receptacles. A dirty job site with material debris all over is a dangerous job site. Hand tools are non-powered and operate only through physical exertion by hand by the human operating them. Hand tool precautions will include the following. Use the right tool for the job. What do I mean by that? Don't use a screwdriver as a chisel. If you need a chisel, use a chisel. Don't use something else as a hammer. You need a hammer, use a hammer. Knives and scissors will be kept sharp. When they're not kept sharp, there's a chance of injury. Only spark-resistant tools made from brass, plastic, aluminum, or wood will be used around flammable substances. Remember that if you're working in a high flammable area with the chemicals you're using, you have to be careful of this. Impact tools such as drill pins and punches, wedges, and chisels must be kept free of mushroomed heads. When they're not, they become dangerous and you can hammer on them. Hammer slips off and then cracks you in the hand and causes injury. Wooden handled tools will be kept free of cracks and splinters and will be kept tightly attached to the working end of the tool. Very important. Tools will be stored in appropriate storage areas when not in use. A lot of times a simple gang box up on the roof will suffice to keep all your tools picked up at the end of the day. Portable power tools. A portable tool is one that requires a power source to operate. Examples of regulated portable power tools include portable abrasive wheels and grinders, lawn mowers. We're not using lawn mowers on the roof, but you may be using that around your shop to keep your yards clear. Power tools, drills, portable circular saws, portable belt sanding machines, explosive actuated fastening tools, jacks, and abrasive blast cleaning nozzles. What do you do for prevention and precautions? Read the owner's manual. Every one of these operates differently. Make sure you're using the right tool for the job, same as we do in the hand tools. Always inspect tools prior to each use. Inspection should include the power cord and the plug. Wear proper eye and face protection while operating power tools. Never carry a tool by the cord or hose. Never stand in or near water when operating tools. Cord safety tips. Do not yank the cord or hose to disconnect it from the receptacle. Keep cords and hoses away from heat, oil, and sharp edges, and never carry a tool by the cord or the hose. Disconnect tools to ensure a zero energy state when not in use. Avoid accidentally starting. Do not hold fingers on the switch button while carrying a plugged-in tool. Maintain good housekeeping and practices by keeping your work areas free of debris and other items that can get caught in tools and other power equipment. Do not wear loose clothing, ties, or jewelry when operating portable power tools. Such items can become caught in moving parts. Remove all damaged or defective portable electric tools from use and tag them do not use. As we talked about in one of our earlier ones, I recommend you cut the end of the cord off as well. Always plug the cord connected in handheld electric tools into a ground fault interrupter, GFCI protected receptacles, or other compliance within the facilities of short electrical grounding conductor. Contractors on the roof, you always provide and use your own GFCI receptacles. Guards. Hazardous moving parts of power tools need to be safeguarded. If such parts are exposed to contact by employees, these parts may include belts, gears, shafts, pulleys, sprockets, spindles, drums, flywheels, chains, and other reciprocating or rotating or moving parts. Guards are necessary and shall be provided to protect the operator and others from the following: point of operation, nip points, rotating parts, flying chips, and sparks. Guards must not be removed or bypassed unless the power tool is unplugged or locked out from the power source and is in a zero energy state. Do not use unauthorized or damaged guards. Replace them. Operate power tools only when guards are in place and properly attached according to the manufacturer's recommendations and are functioning properly. If a guard is damaged, bypassed, or missing, the tool will be removed from service and tagged with do not use until the repairs can be made. Do not use tools without the guards or damaged guards. Safety switches. All handheld power tools should be fitted with any one of the following safety methods as appropriate for the tool. A momentary contact on-off control. A lock or control, if turned off, can be accomplished by a single motion of the same finger or fingers to turn it on. A pressure switch, which requires constant pressure to run and will shut off when this pressure is released. These are very common in power tools. They're made that way at the factory. So figure out which tool has which type of these and make sure they work properly. Pneumatic tools. Pneumatic tools are powered by compressed air and include chippers, drills, hammers, and sanders. We do use those in roofing. Eye protection is required. Face protection is recommended when working with pneumatic tools. Use appropriate hearing protection when working with these tools. Compressed air guns must never be pointed towards anyone. Users must never dead end or gun against themselves or anyone else. Never exceed the safe operating pressure stated by the manufacturer. Screens must be set up to protect nearby workers from being struck by flying fragments around chippers, riveting guns, staplers, and air drills. So again, these are not something you're going to successfully do on a roof, but if you're working inside your shop, you want to have the area off. Want to have the area cautioned off so you know somebody doesn't get in there. Hoses will not be used for hoisting or lowering. Seeing that should never be done. Jacks. A jack is an appliance for lifting or lowering or moving horizontal load by application of pushing force. Jacks may be levered or ratcheted, screwed, or hydraulic. We use these a lot, especially lifting units to get up under the flashing or lifting materials. We do use jacks. When providing a firm foundation, the jack base as well as the cap will be blocked or cribbed to prevent slippage. Jacks will be maintained according to the manufacturer's recommendations and expected at least every 6 months or prior to use. For jacks subjected to abusive conditions such as freezing, load shock, or extreme heat, the jack will be examined for possible defects. Any jack found or damaged or defective will be removed from service immediately, and you must tag it "Do Not Use." So, what are some of the key takeaways? I think we forget more about hand tool and power tool safety than we do anything else because we take them for granted. So, distinguish between hand tools, which are non-powered, and portable tools that require external power sources. Train on each one of these for proper use. Use the right tool in the job to assure efficiency and reduce the risk of injury. Safety precautions. Always read the owner's manual before using any tool. Regularly inspect these tools, particularly power cords and plugs, for any signs of wear or damage. Maintain 3 points of contact when using ladders to access tools. So sometimes we have to climb a ladder or get up to another level where our tools are. So again, when you do that, use that 3 point of contact. PPE. Use the appropriate personal protective equipment, including eye and face protection when operating power tools. Hearing protection should be used where necessary to prevent long-term ear damage. Proper tool and handling. Never carry the tools by a cord or hose. Ensure the tools are disconnected from the power source when not in use to prevent accidental starting. Avoid using tools in wet conditions and prevent electric shock. Tool maintenance and storage. You got to keep these tools well maintained and stored in a safe, dry place. Defective tools should be removed from service immediately and tag them "Do Not Use" until they're repaired properly. Guarding and safety switches. Ensure all moving parts of tools are properly guarded. Use tools with safety switches that prevent accidental activation. Safe operating practices. Do not wear loose clothes or jewelry that could get caught up in these moving parts. Practice good housekeeping. Handling of specific tools. Pneumatic tools should never be pointed on oneself or others and should never be used to hoist or lower objects. Jacks should be placed on a firm foundation and regularly inspected for safety. Again, thank you for listening. Use these to train your people, guidelines, put a program together, put your training meetings together. You have any questions, as always, reach out to either our club, reach out directly to me, John Kenny at Cottony Consulting Group. We're always happy to answer and put you in, give you more information as required. See you next month.